We've got a big show in Des Moines tonight. It's SmackDown TV.
Where's that at again?
It's Des Moines. I've been trying to get that right all morning. I think I finally cracked it. A lot of coaching has gone into that.
We're actually in Sioux City, Iowa.
No.
But yeah, that's our big SmackDown TV taping is going on tonight. It's going to be at the Wells Fargo Arena, kicking off at 6:30 p.m. It's
Wow.
It's a real big show. We've got some great seats still available, and you can get tickets from the Wells Fargo Arena box office or from dollstickets.com.
The voice just keeps getting deeper and deeper.
There you go. Wade Barrett, WWE SmackDown, tonight at the Wells Fargo. Thanks for joining us. That's really all we need to do.
So we've been doing research. Well, I have been, because I don't know a whole lot about the sport. But it said on Wikipedia, which isn't always reliable, it said in the beginning you went by Stu Sanders.
Yeah, that's
Really?
right. That was
You're Stu Sanders?
I am the
Stu Sanders?
The same guy, one and the same, believe it or not.
How many pints did it take to come up with that?
Well, my real name is actually Stu, so that was the easy
Okay.
part. And then
But it's just not sexy.
Sanders was there was a guy called Mal Sanders who was an old British wrestler. So the guy who coached me in the UK, he knew Mal Sanders, and then he heard I was Stu and put the two together, and then I became Wade Barrett pretty soon after.
Way sexier.
Did you have to-
way better?
Did you have to kill the original Wade Barrett and steal his identity?
No, there was actually, I looked it up on Google when I first took the name. There was a Wade Barrett who played Major League Soccer. So he was the only famous Wade Barrett, I think, in the world.
There aren't that many famous Wades, I
No,
don't
there
think.
are not.
Talking to Wade Barrett, WWE SmackDown tonight at Wells Fargo Arena.
The Wikipedia question I wanted to ask you was, did you really do bare knuckle boxing?
Yes, I did. I did it for a couple of years when I lived
That's
in
kinda
Liverpool.
cool.
Yeah, it sounds cool. It's not cool to do.
That
It's,
sounds horrible.
It sounds like Fight Club.
dirty, grimy. And you get hurt and you don't get paid very much.
sounds painful.
I'm much better off in WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is that why your nose is a little crooked?
That's
Is that
exactly why it's so crooked. It's bent
Jeez.
completely out of shape.
So
and,
how does bare knuckle fighting work? Is it sanctioned? Is it like paid venues? People?
No, it's more like.
Is it like Fight Club in the basement?
Yeah, I suppose. I never actually fought in any basements. It's more on sort of wasteland areas and stuff like that. It's
Like a rave. Only everyone fights.
It's a bit like that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like some
Wow.
illegal gambling going on and things like that. It's a very, very
It's
murky
nefarious.
world.
What do you get paid for that? Let's say you win a fight. What's the
It
money?
depends on the fight you're fighting, but it ranged anywhere between sort of £500 to £5,000,
But you're-
depending on how big the fight was.
You're tallish for a fighter, yeah? I mean,
Yeah.
6'5", that's
Yeah,
tall for a
very-
fighter.
I'm actually 6'6". Believe it or not, I think
Good
I am
God.
the first WWE superstar in history that is billed as smaller.
To
than my
lie
actual
down
height.
your
Normally
height.
they build it up. They
Yeah.
actually talk me down for some reason.
So just like walk-
I don't know why.
You walk into a ring sometimes, somebody's really short, you just go bonk on the top of the head.
So you are the current Intercontinental Champion.
Yes.
No belt, though, today.
No, I haven't brought it today.
He's really upset you didn't bring the belt.
I have a thing
really?
for a
It's
championship
very
belt, man.
heavy. I'm going to have a big match tonight, I'm sure. I didn't want to carry that thing around all
Are
day.
you still feuding with Ezekiel?
Yes.
And what's going on with that now? Because I saw that the Core got involved at the pay-per-view.
Yep, that's right. Well, I had a title match with him at the pay-per-view, and the core got involved, so it was a disqualification.
So just go kick his ass. You're a bare-knuckle fighter, man.
I'm sure there's going to be something going down tonight. I'm not quite sure whether I'll be in a sanctioned match with him or whether or not we'll just be attacking him at random.
You ever- I'm sorry, interrupting guy here.
Oh, I say just take him out to the bridge over the river and toss him.
I like
or,
that plan. That's,
into the street. I mean, third, second, go right along there.
Perfect. You should be my manager.
I would be a great heel manager.
Wade Barrett, WWE SmackDown tonight at Wells Fargo Arena. Still tickets available. And how did you go from bare knuckle fighting to WWE? Was it somebody scouted you, found you, or did you actively participate?
I
try
actively
out?
went out and found it, to be honest with you. I've always been a huge WWE fan since when I was a kid. I was a big fan of the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. He was
Rest
my
in
hero.
peace.
Yeah, I loved Mr. Perfect. I love Macho
Rest in
Man
peace.
Randy Savage, Bret the
Rest
Hitman
in
Hart,
peace.
Shawn Michaels.
These are all guys who've died, right?
Shawn Michaels
not
isn't
quite all
dead.
of them. Shawn Michaels and Bret
Bret
Hart.
Hart's still alive.
they're
He may be
still around.
Canadian, but he's still alive.
They're my favourites.
So you were a fan, and
Yeah,
you said,
huge fan as a kid. Grew up, got to my early 20s, and that's when I really thought I wanted to give this a go and try and make my way over to the WWE. And fortunately, things worked out for me. I got signed, and and I'm living there happily ever after.
Yeah, looks like it.
What do you think of Tough Enough? As a guy that had to jump in and work his way up through the
The
ranks.
TV show where they're participating to try and be on.
Yeah, where it's essentially a reality show. I mean, you got a lot of good wrestlers in there. Austin and
Booker T's on there.
Booker
too.
T, Trish, and Bill.
Build them up.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think of those guys that go into that and will get a contract because of it?
I think it's fine. I mean, WWE is not just a wrestling organization. We're a very multifaceted company. We've got a movie arm. Obviously, we do the wrestling things too. We're branching out into different areas. We want to try and attract as big an audience as possible. And I mean, the guys who are working out on the Tough Enough show, I think some of them have got a lot of potential. It's just a different route into WWE. I don't have a problem with it. Some people come from the NFL and then don't work out in the NFL and then come to WWE. Some people, like myself, have loved WWE all their life and work out there. And then other people take a different route. I don't have a problem with it. What really matters is once they get to WWE, how do they perform?
No.
You know, what's their attitude like? And if it's good, then I'm quite happy to.
And what's
to
their
work with
character
them.
like? That's important to me. Is
Yeah,
what-
yeah, definitely.
What's their
That's
character
a
like?
huge part of our show. Obviously, a lot of people do watch for the characters. I remember when I first got interested in it, I loved guys like the Ultimate Warrior and the Bushwhackers, all these crazy people who I'd never seen before in my
Hacksaw
life.
Jim
And-
Duggan?
Yeah, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, all those guys, guys you wouldn't see in real life, I suppose. That was something that definitely attracted me as a fan.
Absolutely.
It's still very important to this day.
Wade Barrett, WWE SmackDown at Wells Fargo tonight. And now, forgive me, I don't follow wrestling these days, but are you a heel?
I am a heel. People don't like me. I tend to get booed out of the building. Even, believe it or not, when I go home to England, I was expecting a big hero's return. And
You're a bad guy?
Yeah, they hate me in England. They
What?
really hate me.
Dude, they had, when he was part of Nexus, when they first started getting that going, they had this ultimate throwdown in Raw, and they just destroyed everything. And it was one of the most shocking things you've ever seen if you're a wrestling fan. It was one of those, where did that come from?
I don't believe it. You just don't seem like a bad guy.
Oh, I
Don't
get
Don't let the
pretty
suit and
nasty
the
in the
gel in
ring.
the hair
Okay.
fool you.
Yeah, I know. He seems like a very nice
Well,
English gentleman. I'm like, oh, okay.
And because you're a heel, we'll send you out in a way that you feel most comfortable. Boo. And also, you suck.
Okay, I can handle
You
that.
feel welcome in Boise, Idaho now, don't you? Wade Barrett tonight, SmackDown at Wells Fargo Arena. It's a pleasure meeting you, sir. All the best.
Thank you very much.
I mean,
Thanks for having
worse.
us on.
You bastard.
Bad guy.
Yeah. So weird. Thanks, Wade.
Thank you.
Oh, and we should point out you're going to be doing TNA with Laser TNA.
No, on demand.
On demand, excuse me. Laser on demand
Shows you how much you pay.
with Ryan Patrick later today.